ESPN FC is presented by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Hello, welcome to the latest edition of the show. We're almost there, the start of the domestic season across Europe. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Shaka Hislop and Nader Manua. Of course, La Liga kicks off this weekend. Real Madrid play on Tuesday, but really all our focus is on Barcelona against Mallorca. And I tell you what a way to start La Liga by looking at Ali's legs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, qué buena.
That's right, baby. Yeah. So nice. So nice.
So many comments, so many visits to HR. Kay and Mario with Ali as well. Kay, I imagine you've had a lovely time so far.
We've, yes, been braving the heat down out here on behalf of ESPN FC. It's been really tough. We have a bit of a breeze tonight, though.
Yeah.
Mario Suarez has been showing us around the delights of Mallorca as well. This beautiful city. You're enjoying it, Ale?
Absolutely. And yes, my legs are tanning. It's happening. It's nice.
Yeah, here we are in Palma de Mallorca. And you know this place well, Mario.
Well, I spent all my summers here. My wife is from here. I used to play here like a long time ago. And to be honest, I love Mallorca.
And you took us around as well.
Yes.
Well, I think we are going to see or not. But it's a beautiful place. I hope that you like where I take today.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, Mario does know all the spots. Ali and I have just been going to the closest place that we can find. And then Mario said, leave it to me. And this is where he took us today.
Welcome. Welcome, Kay. Welcome. Welcome to
What's up, papi? Doing all right?
Welcome to the beautiful Mallorca, to this beautiful place, one of my favorite places in the island.
I feel overdressed. I don't know. Wait a second. Wait a minute.
Like my shirt
feel like
or
I
what?
need to button down. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, give me that. Okay. All right, now I'm ready. Here we go.
What are we doing here? I mean, this is a little different to the studio in Bristol.
Yeah, this spot is one of my favorite places in Mallorca, in the island. It calls Chio, from one friend of mine. And we call this like a chiringuito in Spain.
Okay.
And we are going to have typical Spanish drink, typical food. So I hope you enjoy.
What do we have here, Mario?
We have the boss from the place.
Okay.
His name is Cito.
Cito.
We have
Pleasure.
sangria of cava. With cava, with brandy, Mallorquin, some fruit, so it's a bit of healthy.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salud. Bueno, está bien.
What are we going to eat today?
I don't know what they are going to take, but I hope.
Mario, I thought you were hosting us. I thought this was your thing.
When I come here, I always say, put whatever you want.
You're a team manager.
Yeah.
You just put the players in the right place, in the right position, and it's their job.
I hope a bit of jamon. If you don't put us jamon, we can go.
I noticed that you are barefooted. How many times during the summer do you actually put shoes on?
Just to train. And if I can train,
you're still training?
I'm training every day. I need to train also mentally and physically.
Look, you're catching up. You're opening the buttons.
That's
you need to take your shoes off
Yeah.
now.
You know, I'd show a
need
little,
to, like-
showing a little something, making it a little sexy,
Chito, ¿dónde está el jamón? Oh my God, if you don't put us jamón, we can go. Typical salad, good product, tomato. And this is like, we call salpicón de marisco in Spanish. That is like salad with a lot of seafood, yeah.
So you don't want to come to Connecticut, to be based in Connecticut with us and live there instead of here?
To be based, my wife don't want to go to Connecticut. No, I'm joking.
Ale knows, we say in English, happy wife, happy life.
Of course. That's true. Happy wife, happy life,
Yes.
for sure.
So this is her island.
Yeah, because she's from Mallorca.
Okay.
You know, when I used to play here, I was telling my friends, look, now I went to Atletico de Madrid back, I say, I need to know one Mallorca's girl. And I will marry her. And I know Marena, I marry her.
Oh, it's love. It's a love story.
That's love, yeah.
But where did you meet? You met here?
No, we met in Madrid.
Of course you did.
Big question is, who do your children support? Who is their team?
What do you think?
Atleti.
Of course.
Okay. That tomato is screaming my name.
Looks right, eh?
The tomatoes in Spain are the best.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're talking.
This is another thing. You will have time to go to the beach or something or not?
We're professionals, Mario.
Oh, I will go to the beach later.
Of course you will. Of course you will. This is big question. Big question. Important question. You go to the beach. Speedos or shorts?
Shorts.
Okay. all right.
Shorts, not Speedos.
We're in Europe. You can wear a Speedo.
I don't wear Speedo. In my case, no.
I was told that you knew one of my favorite people in the world. The guy who almost burned Luis Garcia's hair last year. Now, nobody messes up Luis Garcia's hair. That guy almost did.
I knew that Luis was not
Stressed.
happy. Yeah, really
Stressed.
stressed. We love Luis, but I will introduce you to this guy on Saturday.
He's got beautiful hair. You think
Maybe
he's
he's thinking to come or not, I don't know.
he's
Okay?
got more beautiful hair than me? What do you think, Mario?
Than you and than me. Yeah.
Together.
We have an easy look. Yeah.
I can get used to this.
Of course.
I don't know that I'm coming back. Okay, you may be going to Connecticut by yourself. I do have a family to go back to.
As you can see, we've been having a terrible time. It really was quite something today. Talk about the season ahead, Mario. Let's talk about everything that we're looking forward to. We've, of course, got the kick-off game for us. We've got Mallorca against Barcelona. But when it comes to this season, let's take a little look at Barcelona and what we're expecting from them after such a fantastic year last year.
To be honest, I expect the same, Ale and Kay. I think they are the favorites. They have an amazing team. I like the signing of Joan Garcia, of Marcus Rashford. I will like to see how Araujo performed this year, that it looks like he's going to play more minutes. Let's see, because Íñigo Martínez for me last season was one of the best central defender of the season. But I expect the same. They are scoring goals, they are attacking, they are not going to change. Let's see how they do the high line, defensive line. But I love what I'm watching from Barcelona during this pre-season, and I expect the same. I think they are going to win the La Liga. Let's see if the injuries and this kind of thing that can happen during the season respect them. But for me, they are the favorites.
It's interesting there with the defensive point of view, because that's something that Mac has brought up on the show in the preview in La Liga for the season ahead, in that you just mentioned Íñigo Martínez. He's gone. It's not like other defenders are coming in here. They're going to be reinforcing from within. Is that a concern for you?
Well, while I don't mind that Barcelona went and got Marcus Rashford, I actually do mind the fact that they went to get Marcus Rashford instead of a defender, instead of a player that could potentially cover a hole just in case Íñigo Martínez walked out the door, or just in case somebody got injured, or just in case Ronald Araujo was not at the level that they expect him to be. Ronald Araujo had a really difficult season last year for Barcelona, and he has to be exponentially better than he was last season if indeed they're going to achieve the things that they want to achieve. It's going to be critically important for Ronald Araujo to be at his best, but I do agree with Mario that you look at this Barcelona team and it's difficult to make an argument against them. You think of Pau Cubarsí, 1 year of more experience, 1 year in which he has continued to grow up as a player. Gavi coming back from injury, from an ACL injury, so he's going to be available for them. You have that depth in numbers with Marcus Rashford coming on the left-hand side. If you get the same sort of performances from Rafinha, if you get the same sort of season from Lamine Yamal, if whenever Lewandowski comes back from injury, he's scoring goals, and they got the strength that they have through the midfield, there's a lot to like. In fact, there's a lot to love about Barcelona, and so I'm willing to overlook the potential lack of performance of Ronald Araujo and think that Barcelona should be the favorites coming into the season.
What do you think about the signing of Joan Garcia, goalkeeper coming in there, Mario?
Well, talking about the player, it's an amazing signing because he's young, he can play a lot of years. He did an amazing season in Espanyol, but it's not the same to play in Espanyol that to play in Barcelona, that they can only shoot you once in a match and you have to save. But talking about the economic side, with all the problems that Barcelona has, it's amazing that you spend this kind of money in one player when you have another keepers available, and we are 2 days ago from the match and you don't know if he's going to be able to play. So, but from the player side, and I think he's an amazing goalkeeper. The last season did an amazing season, and let's see what he can do in Barcelona, because it's not the same pressure, but I think it's a good sign.
Yeah, I think to the point that Mario's making in regards to the goalkeeping situation, the fact that they are depending upon Ter Stegen having the injury and the surgery that he had, and the fact that he had to come out and say, yeah, I'm going to be out for 4 months, so therefore La Liga will then allow Joan Garcia to be registered. That kind of tells you that this decision-making process for Barcelona is all over the place. Marcus Rashford is still not registered. Is this something that is going to work out for Barcelona? We assume. Are we assuming?
Yeah.
Or is it hoping for Barcelona?
But we don't know.
But we don't know for certain. And so, yeah, it's hard to overlook those things off the field for Barcelona, and I think the only way that you can overlook those things is by focusing on what happens on the field. And on the field, they continue to be a really exciting team, a really young team, and a team that is going to score goals. And it comes natural for them to score goals, and they're going to score more than other teams starting on Saturday.
When it comes to Liga title predictions, Maka, funnily enough, has gone for Real Madrid this season. Now, when he says why he picks Real Madrid, he said because last year one of their biggest problems was the defence, and they have strengthened the defence this season, and he thinks that that's going to be enough and the factor that will help them get some silverware this season. Can you see it his way?
Well, I see favorite Barcelona. I said second position Atletico because I think Real Madrid. No, I'm with Maka that the defensive line is improving because Hausen, Carreras, and now for me the best signings will be if Militao and Carvajal, they are close to the level they were before they get injured. They are amazing players. They are one of the best defenders in the world. Militao for me is the best one, better than Rudiger and than other ones, than Hausen. He's an amazing player. Carvajal for me is the best right back in the world with Agraf from PSG. And I'm with Maka in that side. But from the other point of view, I saw in the FIFA World Cup that they were struggling. Xabi Alonso wants to press high all the players. If he's able to convince Vini, to convince Mbappe to do that every match, not only in the important matches, maybe they will have a chance. But I have my doubts with him.
You have your doubts that he'll be able to convince them. Do you think they're going to listen to him and do what he expects of them?
They are going to listen because he's the coach, but I don't know if they are going to do what they are listening. You know, that are my concerns with Real Madrid. I don't think they are prepared. These kind of players that they are playing 4 or 5 years, the same style, waiting, having more the ball than not running behind the ball. And Xabi Alonso wants to press high every single second. I don't know if they are going to be. And
while that's a very valid point, I just don't see Mbappe and Vini running around pressing higher up the field. Let's say that indeed you get that pressing from Vini and from Mbappe, and that's a big assumption. But let's say that happens. They still haven't addressed what happens in the midfield. One of the big things that people and fans and pundits all over the world have been talking about Real Madrid last season in terms of the shortcomings was, well, where's Toni Kroos? Toni Kroos here. Is he coming to Mallorca? Is he? Where is Toni Kroos? And the truth is that Toni Kroos is not playing for Real Madrid anymore, and they haven't addressed that just yet. And I think a player, while we can focus on Vini and Mbappe, a player that is going to be critically important for the success of Real Madrid in the eyes of Xabi Alonso is Tchouaméni. He thinks, Xabi Alonso thinks, I don't think, but Xabi Alonso thinks that Tchouaméni can be the guy that with his athleticism is able to cover a lot of ground and still be a good passer of the ball and tempo setter for Real Madrid. I don't think that's in his game. I don't think those are the things that he does well. He's not a tempo setter. He's a guy that runs around, and when he runs around, he gets himself out of position and he gets a team disorganized. So even if Vini and Mbappe press the ball, the second line, once they break through that initial pressure, is that second line organized enough to where you stop counter-attacking opportunities? I think that's where Real Madrid get exposed.
Yes, Ale, but I understand the point from Xavi because you have this kind of players like Mbappe, like Vini, like Brahim, like Mastantuono. The closer they are from the opening goal is better. So I prefer to press the ball, high pressure, steal the ball close to the other goal and score or attack faster because they don't have the talent in the midfield that they were used to with Kroos, with Modric. Tchouaméni, I think he looks like he's Casemiro, no? But Ceballos, Güler, they will have to move forward to give a step up and show that they can do that. Because I think there is no player like Kroos and Modric in the world right now.
And on top of that, you're going to have players missing because of injuries. and already to start out the season. So Jude Bellingham, because of the shoulder surgery that they chose to do post-Club World Cup, he is going to be gone for a while. And that creates yet another issue for Xabi Alonso. So I'm all for pressing higher up the field, as long as the front two are willing to do that, and as long as that second line is also willing to press together. If they do that, maybe they have a chance. I just don't see that Real Madrid have really made the improvements that they need to make in order to challenge for the title.
So you've both got your questions about Real Madrid. You're both picking Barcelona to win the title this season. However, you're both picking Kylian Mbappe to finish as top scorer. So tell us about your thinking there, Mario.
And he's an amazing player.
Okay.
Well, Kylian Mbappe is going to score goals. Breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. Kylian Mbappe is going to score goals. But that doesn't mean that Real Madrid is going to win the important games. And that's really what it comes down to. I also think that part of the reason as to why Kylian Mbappe ends up being the top scorer is because Barcelona will score a bunch of goals, but they'll spread those goals around between Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Marcus Rashford, so on and so forth. Whereas for Real Madrid, I think it's going to be a lot of Mbappe, a little bit of Vini, a little bit of Bellingham, maybe a little bit of Güler or somebody else.
Now, as we just saw, Mario's very confident about Atleti, thinking that they'll finish second behind Barcelona. You've got your doubts about them this season, Ali.
Well, and the doubts are, what a picture that is. Let me just tell you. Good Lord, that is sexy. The doubts about Atletico Madrid are simple because I feel like I've read this book already when it comes to Atletico Madrid. I feel like we have seen this time and time again where they invest the money in players. It feels like it's about that time when they're going to take a real step forward, where they're really going to contend for the title. And the truth is, I just don't think that they're able to translate that into results consistently all the time. They were right there in the race last season, and they fell apart. They fell apart in the second half of the season, and they became non-competitive towards the end of the season, and they were no longer in the picture. They have to stay in this race till the end. And also, you have to ask the question, your boy, your guy, Diego Simeone, right? This is no longer the team, and dare I say with the utmost respect, this is no longer the team of Mario Suarez, or the end con el cuchillo entre los dientes, with the knife between your teeth, and we're just gonna grind and fight. No, this is a play-in team. This is a team that have enough players and where they can outplay most teams in La Liga. Is that the approach that they will take in important games? And that is really up to Diego Simeone as to whether he's able to risk it. And I don't think that he is, because that's what we have seen time and time again. He chooses to be conservative.
It seems almost foreign to any Atleti fan to be questioning Diego Simeone. He's obviously a god in those parts for everything he's achieved with Atleti. But there's been big money spent now. Success is expected of this side. They can no longer be the little brother to Real Madrid and Barcelona, surely. He has to be under pressure this season.
Well, if we talk about the economic side, favorites will always be Barcelona and Real Madrid. But Atletico, they are spending money and they have to be every time close. Last season they were fighting until March, and they die in March. So this season they will have to continue fighting and be more close to them and fight for the title. They are not favorites, but they have to fight for the title. And I'm confident this year because they sign a lot of good players. But as Ale said before, to don't be conservative, to play, give a step forward, play pressing. They are trying during the pre-season. I don't know if you watch any match of them. They were trying to press high. Let's see if they will do this when the points, are in the game. But you have Baena, that is an amazing player. You have Almada. You have players to play in the opposite half, closer to the opposite goal. So now we have to be more demanding on the players, be more demanding on Simeone, to don't be so conservative, to play more attacking. And let's see, it will depend on him. But because of that, and because my doubts with the time that Xabi Alonso has to convince the players on his idea, that's why I put Atletico in the second position.
There's a lot of attacking talent for Atletico Madrid. We haven't even mentioned Antoine Griezmann, who has a secondary role now in this team, who'll be coming off the bench and playing just quality minutes in second half minutes. That's where he's going to make his impact. That's how good some of the players that Atletico Madrid have gone and gotten. And so the expectation should be that's where you need to compete. you need to be willing to get in the faces of Barcelona and in the faces of Real Madrid and go and press. Go on, make it uncomfortable for them. If they do that, I think they have enough talent to trouble these teams. But if they take a step back, I think it's too much for them to be able to overtake Real Madrid and Barcelona in particular.
And this will be also, Ale, a good thing for Simeone's perspective of a coach that, look, I'm so intelligent that I need to improve in this side, in attacking side, to be more offensive. Defensively, we know that you are one of the best coaches in the world. But now is your time to give more in attack. Because you have the players to do. Maybe in the past with us, like you said, we don't have that kind of talent that the players that right now they have. And we won titles because we knew that we were, or Real Madrid and Barcelona were better players than us. But now you have a lot of talent to play, not better, to play, to win matches, to go to play, to face Real Madrid and Barcelona, look into the eyes and say, we are going to win you. Yeah. Now is the time.
We are going
all
to
right,
find
I'm
out.
excited.
Like that. You're excited enough to change it to second?
No, not that
Okay.
excited, no.
Neither was I. My predictions are very similar to the guys, actually. I've got Barcelona winning the title.
Oh,
Why this
wait a minute.
prediction?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
From the Borough Babe days?
Wait a minute.
Yes. Kylian Mbappe top scorer, same, but I'm going for Pedri.
Oh,
as player
player of the year. Well, that's a soft spot for me right there.
Now let's get out of this because nobody wants to see that picture any longer.
All right.
Dan, we've got lots to do out here in Mallorca. We're going to have to go do it.
Yeah,
See
of
you
course you are.
later.
What, midnight? Oh, it's young.
Oh, it begins.
Here we
It
go.
begins.
Here we go. Mario will know the spots. Fantastic. Have a great night, guys. Hopefully you'll see the sun rise. Just a reminder, of course, that Ali and Kay and Mario will be bringing you everything you need to know from Mallorca ahead of that big game against Barcelona over the next 48 hours live here on ESPN FC. Our coverage starts 1 p.m. Eastern on the Saturday, and then of course wraparound coverage on Sunday as well of Espanyol against Atleti, which takes us nicely into Nedum's predictions as to who will win the league. Former Manchester City player and Manchester City TV regular Nedum Anua has gone for
I'm also going to say, as a former Sunderland player, you notice they're not down at the bottom.
right, well that's
Because
not
they're going to be 7th. Anyway,
right.
so for me,
Manchester City, we discussed this yesterday in depth.
Yes.
My concern is you defence. You're not worried about that one bit.
yeah, not really, no, because I think Guardiola's somebody who will try and fix those problems. I think we thought we saw the worst version of them last season.
Sir.
For a third of the
Sir.
season.
For
a third of the season.
He couldn't fix
For a
them
third
last
of the-
season. Why
No,
couldn't
no. Let's not do this again, Dan.
I know,
There's
but-
footage of this.
I know.
There's footage of
I know,
this.
and
Do you want to do this
I
again?
won't jump in, but you've said something already that's silly.
Okay.
Because you
He
think that
fixed
Pep
it.
Guardiola's going to
He
fix
fixed it in the final third of last season.
Final third.
So there we go. And to be honest, when it comes down to who's going to win the league this year, I feel City, Arsenal, Liverpool are basically the same. You know what I mean? There's no real difference between them. So when it comes down to it, I'm going to be the homer that says, yes, I'm going
Okay,
for
so
Man
really it's bias.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, all right,
It's
that's-
biased, but I think most people that are deciding who's going to win the league and be in the top 3, they're going through the same sort of thoughts in their mind.
I don't think it's of objective pundits. I think as a professional you should put that aside.
No, never. I think these are good signings as well, by the way. I think I can see Reinders making a big difference. Shirky with the potential that he has, and Nori on that left side.
Yes.
Allow the players to be playing in a sort of different style. And Trafford coming in to almost have a sense of redemption because, you know, he was there before. It's good.
What about the concern of Nori's defensive frailty?
Listen, I've got no concerns about that whatsoever.
Right.
I've got no concerns whatsoever because the way he'll have to defend the City will be different to how he's had to do it in different places. So
Okay.
I'm not concerned. And I think he can improve as a player, so I'm not bothered about that.
So you've got Liverpool
In second, yeah?
and then Arsenal.
Yep.
What's wrong with Arsenal?
There's nothing wrong with Arsenal because the point I just made a minute ago, Dan, is that the 3 are very, very similar.
Yes.
But I think, in my mind, for the way that Arsenal are, you could easily convince me to put them in second. They
Okay.
could very much win the league, but those 3 are the same. I think most people that are doing these predictions are grouping those 3 together and adding a 1 for Chelsea coming in 4th. That's where most people
Chelsea
see
are the
it.
best team in the world, yet you haven't got them in this 3-horse race.
This is true, but this isn't a Club World Cup, is it? So as a consequence, it's different. Chelsea are the best club in the world, as we all know. It's always been the case. We've always sort of addressed that at ESPN. You know, you guys always spoken in that manner. I think Craig speaks of it really well. You know, Frank does as well. I love Chelsea. You know what I mean? So yeah, they are very, very good, and I think they can be in this title race for longer. But in my mind, I just don't think they'll be there at the end.
So tell me about Manchester United in 6th.
What do you want to know about United?
I want to know, what have you seen that has changed so much that's going to take them from 15th to 6th in the
So
table?
with United, what happens is every year there's this like summer of hope because they've got new signings, and I sort of drink that Kool-Aid, and then all of a sudden, like, it tends to go the opposite way. But for now, I believe that they will be better. In Ruben Amorim, we've not seen the best of him yet, and I think this year now is going to be a case of what is he like as a coach, because he has more players now that suit his style. He's had a pre-season to get those players playing in the manner that he wants, and there's no way they can be as bad as last year. You know, for them finishing 14th, I believe it was, that's a mess in itself. So I think they are capable of being able to progress up the league, not least of all because they're going to be playing one game a week. Not being in Europe should be a huge asset for them. And if it turns out to be a problem, then there's real questions about Amorim and the future of the club. Fair?
And should we take a look at my predictions then?
Go on and let's have a look.
My concern with Manchester United is that they still don't have a midfield, I think, that can compete properly.
Valid.
And I think that's going to be a big issue for them, and that's why they're not going to finish in the top 6.
Gyökeres top scorer and player of the year.
Did I put that?
Wow.
Yeah, why not?
Apparently.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, why not?
I suppose...
City 4th as well.
City 4th, yes.
Is that Newcastle 5th with Isak or without Isak?
That's Newcastle 5th, that'd be fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine with or without Isak.
So why are Arsenal going to win it this year?
Arsenal are going to win it because they are a more balanced side. Because they've done it, been there, done that.
How close is it going to be?
Oh, it's going to be really close with Liverpool. My concern with Liverpool is the new faces. I think defensively there are frailties there that others are going to take advantage of, and I think as a result of that, Liverpool won't have the same start to the season as they did last year. And I think that's going to be a big factor because despite the fact, like, slumps, like you think, what, Plymouth Argyle and what happened against PSG, Arne Slot's never really been tested. Not properly.
That's a take.
Not 100% so far since he made the move. So there are going to be times this season, because there are so many new faces, it's going to take time for them to gel. And I just feel because Arsenal have been together and they've brought in that striker that we know they needed so much.
So he doesn't need time to gel Gyökeres. He's just going to be the best player in the league and the top scorer.
I think Gyökeres offers something that they haven't had for such a long time, Arsenal. And in that sense, I don't think he needs to... He doesn't need to get 3 goals every game. He needs to get the goal that gets you over the line, which Arsenal are missing each time. Zubimendi in midfield means that they can dominate more in those sort of areas, along with Declan Rice.
Which they were dominant anyway.
Say again?
They were dominant in midfield.
Well, you're taking it to another level. And I think for Liverpool, you need Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk to be 10 out of 10 again. And can they deliver that in back-to-back seasons? And people will look at Mo Salah and say, rightly so, well, you've said that every season, look at the numbers he's kept delivering. But I just think the last couple of months of that campaign last year, we saw the worst of Mo Salah, which isn't necessarily the worst of the worst because he's Salah, but we just saw him drop off enough to make you question whether or not he can bring it.
I think Mo Salah's done that time and again, where there has been a dip in his form, but then all of a sudden you get to the end of the season and he's got 35, 40 goals. I feel that's kind of Mo Salah. I understand what you're saying, and I think for Arsenal to win the title, Gyökeres probably has to be leading scorer and player of the year. But you've also got to get the same return that you got from Saliba and Gabriel, both defensively and up at the other end from set pieces. You've got to avoid major injuries. I'm thinking Bukayo Saka here. Things just have to go right. And to Lino's point, Gyökeres has to just fit in rather seamlessly. Whichever way, I think that top 3 is going to be a whole lot tighter than it was last season. And there's not a lot...
I just don't see it from City. I don't see City...
So how many points do you think City are going to get this season?
I don't know any points, Nathan.
Because they ended up weirdly 3 points behind Arsenal.
I couldn't tell you how many points anyone is going to get. What I'm saying is that City really concerned me last season because they...
Through its entirety or through that spell where they were losing so many games?
City finished 3 points behind Arsenal.
That's correct, yeah.
Arsenal drew a lot of games.
So is that City's fault?
No, but what I'm saying is I think with the addition of a striker, that changes extensively, kind of given the number of games. They just drew way too many. So it really was a big gap between City, who they were, and what we saw of last season. And Turkey, I think, is very exciting.
Reinders. Reinders will be...
As much as you want to dismiss the Club World Cup.
I don't want to dismiss it.
City took that seriously. They wanted to win it.
Yeah.
And again, we saw the same mistakes that we saw last season defensively. Every game that Manchester City play, they give
Every game that every team plays, they give opportunities to the opposition.
No.
Tell me a team that doesn't.
No, I think championship winning sides, when you boys are winning the league easily, It wasn't a case. It was a case you were rolling over teams 3-4-0 and it was done.
So
and I think that's the problem. The problem is that you open the door for teams, and they take that opportunity, and they know they can take that opportunity now against Manchester City.
You're talking about City historically, like they concede 40, 50 goals every season. Last season itself was an abomination for them. And the point I was trying to make...
But they haven't brought in any new personnel to change that.
What they have done in their favour is more players will be available to Guardiola this year that weren't there for those tough parts last year, because you can. He
doesn't like having too many players. He gets angry.
You can talk, You can talk about, say, for example, Kuzanov did well for City, relatively speaking. Yeah.
No.
In the moment, he did well for them, relatively speaking. No. You know he did. He did.
I don't think he did need him.
I know, but that's what you think. I'm telling you what I think.
Oh, okay.
So to carry on from that point,
so
now at the start of this season, the last game that City played against Palermo or whatever, John Stones played. When was the last time you saw John Stones playing in the Premier League for City? You probably don't know, okay? So to add into that, you've got John Stones, you've got Manuel Akanji, you've got Ruben Diaz, and you've got Nathan Ake, alongside of Vardiol, who could also play in that position.
Right.
City played at their best when they had their best defenders available. That's what the previous years have been. Add into that the point that you don't want to make, which is a big point, having their number 6 come back into the team as well. And with that number 6 who complements everybody in that midfield, the way that City will look this year in good health will be very different to how it looked at their lowest point last year. My
problem with those defenders that you've named, I don't think any of them have played up to what we expect of them over the last 18 months.
No.
And I think you're
No. That's way off the pace.
I don't think so. I don't think you look at those players and you think, oh, OK, yes, Ruben Diaz is back to the...
How did they win the league the year before?
Back to the Ruben Diaz.
How did they win the league the year before?
18 months is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but how did they win? If
They'd already won the league by then, that was it.
What?
They were done. It was fine. But honestly...
Oh, I love you, Dan, honestly.
You look at someone like Ruben Diaz... I'm taking Saliba and Gabriel every single day of the week.
Which is completely fine.
And that's different to what you've had to deal with before.
No, it's not. Because Saliba and Gabriel have had a really good partnership for the last 3 seasons, you could say.
Right.
That's spoken for itself. Same way with Liverpool. You've got Kanate and you've got Van Dijk. But where City are different is their combinations change almost on a game-to-game basis.
And that's been to their detriment over the last 18 months.
No, not 18 months. If you had said the last 12 months, I'd make a better argument. But instead, you're just not there, Dan. You're just way off the mark.
I'd say the last 13 months.
Listen, I understand where you're coming from, but what I would say is most people that watch them on a week-to-week basis with a level of emotion around it.
I watch them. You know, we all watch them.
No, I understand. No, you don't.
You don't watch them properly. You don't see what's going on. I see them.
You don't watch them.
With big gaping gaps.
You don't watch them. You don't watch them, and that's fine because you've got a lot of other stuff to watch.
What am I doing with City playing?
As is the case with most this show. Like I love it. Oh
my goodness, he's coming over. Right, get ready for this, Shaq.
Listen, this is where I'm going to draw a line.
Terrible.
I'm going to draw a line. This is where some fans get really angry because the way that we talk about our teams isn't to the same detail that they'd want, but it's because we have to look at everything.
But they're watching it with a bias. We don't. You've already admitted that you've only picked Manchester City because you're a City fan.
Yes.
So therefore, it's very difficult you to sit there objectively and tell me that defensively over the last 14 months.
No, but I've told you. I've literally provided you facts on the last 2 days about what City did in the second half of last season. But they don't matter to you. Don't let facts affect your feelings.
I know. I'm not sure. Here's the problem. You keep bringing up this last how many months?
The last 20 games of last season.
Last 20 games in which you got knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Terrible Real Madrid side, worst one that we've seen for years.
Yeah.
And then you managed to make it into the top 4 in the Premier League. The worst Premier League. Worst Premier League we've seen in years. Yes.
Okay. I remember. I'm not going to take that on board. I remember being on the show.
Am I not telling the truth?
I remember being on that on a show.
Am I not telling the truth?
Sorry, Shaq. I'll bring you in a second.
I'm good.
I remember being on a show with Stevie in the run-in for like the league, and he said he didn't think City would finish top 4. That's the position that they were in.
Right.
Yeah? They end up finishing the season 3 points behind Arsenal. So something has changed there, and Stevie understood how wild it was what he was saying.
Stevie,
Stevie's here. You know what I mean? Let him have his opinion.
Because Stevie said it, that's your source.
City will play in a manner which suits them this season, and with good health, they'll be very competitive. And like you said, I've shown my bias in terms of picking them to win the league, but I've also said all 3 teams are basically the same in my mind. So why would I not pick the team that I support?
It's fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. The season starting. There we are.
Clearly. It's fun already.
Why is that the time? Oh, my God. That was longer than the Mallorca segment. What are we doing now? Transfer talk? Should we do that?
Go on then.
Oh, Liverpool-Bournemouth, they're playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Liverpool, Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Okay, Liverpool, there we are. Of course, Liverpool have signed a new defender as well. We spoke about it yesterday. We won't talk about him because no one's seen him play, and we won't pretend that we have seen him play. He's added to the squad, Giovanni Leone, making that...
6'5". Another tree at the back for Liverpool. They've got some big fellas, haven't they?
That's why we won't talk about it, because that's the insight you're going to get. And of course, to keep up to the latest... Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Nadim is still with us. We had a lovely time.
A few more days, yeah.
You'd never guess where me and Nadim met this morning.
That could go any direction.
Never. The running track.
Oh boy.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's right, that's what I do.
What a picture Nadim was.
What were you doing in the running track?
You came to watch me, that's the problem.
Oh, what?
Yes, I woke up. I've got to go watch Nadim run. My son was training on the pitch. He had soccer training as Nadim was doing laps. It was very good.
Shout out to your son.
Nadim's very professional. He had his thingy on. What do you call it?
vest, yeah.
I was going to call it bra, but that would be wrong.
I tend not to wear bras.
There we go. What's that? Move on. Yes.
Yeah.
If you could grab lunch with one Premier League player, who would it be and why? Well, that's easy.
Is it?
Jack Grealish. Oh, yes.
Good point.
Liquid lunch.
Oh, man, what a way to start the day. You'd have lunch, dinner and breakfast.
Never mind that running track. Running track or lunch with Grealish?
Oh, definitely. Shaq, who are you having lunch with?
Oh, we had questioned that.
All right, well, this person...
It's not.
No, you want...
What's the name first?
Surely is there not someone you would be interested to sit down, discuss, talk?
What?
I'm trying.
So what I would
Just
do...
because you're in Craig's chair doesn't mean...
Yeah. Something about the energy.
Lunch with a what?
I'm having lunch with anybody.
I ate lunch.
Yeah, obviously he's left now, but I would have gone for De Bruyne.
Well, he's gone.
Yeah, so instead I'd go for Grealish, because that's going to be a lunch, brunch, everything you need it to be, yeah?
Certainly will.
Come on, Dad, next question, let's go.
Has Newcastle's recruitment team been a big failure? And the root cause of the mess created? The bottom line is they have lost all their targets to other teams, and Isak would have been a Liverpool player by now with a big pot of cash at their disposal.
This summer hasn't been good. Last summer there was a lot of financial issues that they had to address, and as a result, they didn't do an awful lot in the transfer market. Welcome to Nali back after his suspension. But to say that the recruitment department of Holberg's phrase has been a failure, I think it's a stretch. We're talking about a team that finished 5th last season. And again, with financial constraints. So the answer to that is it's not been great this summer, but by no means it's been a failure.
Nadim will be discussing this more, by the way, on Football Americas, but let's just get your opinion on it now. Tim Weah's come out and basically said that those pundits who have been openly critical of Christian Pulisic turning his back on the US for the World Cup are evil.
I think evil's quite a strong word.
It's quite strong.
It's quite strong.
Evil.
Yeah. It's quite strong. I think maybe because of the impact that they know that their words will have, and I think as a pundit, I would have liked to have seen those guys that said it say it to Christian or say it to whomever they were mentioning, instead of doing it from like the comfort of like their own home, their own studio and something, and not really having that discussion itself. Because I reckon they wouldn't say it in the same way if they were speaking to Pulisic directly.
Right.
So I don't think it's evil, but I think there is something within this industry about being able to pass a message on to somebody you're talking about, and whether you do it in the same way. Because if you do, brilliant. But
have you had players reach out to you to say that was out of order?
No, they're not really to me. And like most people know the way that I do things, I try and give the benefit of the doubt. There are certain things that I'm passionate about that upset me, and if it's objectively wrong, I'll say it's objectively wrong. But if I wouldn't say it to someone's face, I won't say it at all. And I think that's where it's a bit different, because some of the former players, like lo and behold, there's like a grumpy older person talking about the youth of today and how bad everything's become.
Right.
But that's generation upon generation upon generation. But again, I think from Timothy Weah saying it's evil, it feels strong from my perspective.
I don't get the evil comment, but at the same time, Christian Pulisic is not the first player to ask to be left out of an international team for one reason or another. I think a lot of the reaction was exaggerated, maybe because of who it is and kind of given what US soccer has been going through. But what US soccer and their turmoil has kind of been about over the last 12 months has got nothing to do with Pulisic. I defend his right to sit out. If you want to sit out, you sit out. That's entirely his right. He's got to earn his place back in the now Pochettino squad. Nothing evil about that.
To take the angle away from America for a second, put it on USA and put it in England. England at the Euros a year ago, England men, the hysteria around their performances made it so much harder for those players because it was a constant critique, constant critique from players who had also never gone as far as those players had gone in the tournaments that they've done. You know, whether you're talking about the 2 European Championship finals or like a World Cup semi or whatever it was. So yeah, that does make a difference. The words of the people who've done it before really do matter. And I think most players these days, they get frustrated when it feels like the people talking about it are out of touch.
Right.
And they'd rather just say something that's easy for them to say, but then they don't have to deal with the consequence because as soon as the mics go off, their job's done.
For Xhaka, if Manchester City buy Donnarumma from PSG and sell Ortega and Ederson, do you think he'll start ahead of Trafford?
He'll start.
Yeah.
You're not going to bring in Donnarumma and his reported, Jules was saying a couple of days ago, 15 million a year, whatever it is he's asking. You're not going to bring in Donnarumma, put him on 15 million a year and bench him for Trafford. That being said, I stand by what we were saying a couple of days ago. It just doesn't seem like a Pep Guardiola signing because he's not great with his feet. Great goalkeeper, but not great with his feet. Guardiola wants goalkeepers who are good with their feet.
Why is player loyalty always questioned when a top performer wants to move to a bigger club, but when a club forces out a player they gave a contract to, it's just called roster management? Good reading.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. It sounds like something that like a former player would have sent in because realistically the narrative...
Well, it is Dan's fancy dress shorts.
Oh, well, there we go. And in reality, like, that's the situation. Like, a player is deemed loyal until they're not needed anymore. And then it's like, off you go. And even, for example, this summer with United having some of those players training by themselves, but then someone said, oh, just leave, you know, their salary's too high, we can't afford it. Well, how did they give out their contracts in the first place? You know, the club at one point thought this was the right thing for them to do. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh no, the player's the villain. I think the business of football is one which has so many sides to it. And I think that whole player loyalty thing, I think if most fans or people who are interested in the game were put in the player's position, they'd do things the exact same way because it's work at the end of the day.
Agreed.
Thank you, Shaq. Shaq, would you rather have to get... This is a very random question.
I like it though.
Shaq, would you rather have to get a man bun or a ponytail for 6 months, or have to room with Stevie and Craig for the World Cup next summer? So you hate ponytails. This is where this all comes from.
And the old man bun.
Yeah, just not on...
Nah, I'll be honest. I'd prefer to room with Stevie and Craig.
Wow.
Oh, he's a statement, that, isn't
That's
it?
where you stand.
Yeah, I can't stand ponytails or
No.
man buns.
No.
Oh, nah.
Naden?
No, I can't. I can't. I'll just buy 2 cases of beer every day. Let them
I don't know if that's what
entertain
you want.
themselves.
I don't know.
I can't.
I don't know. We've heard the stories though of rooming with Stevie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it says more about Shaka's irrational sort of like rage towards man buns.
Do you think
It's
so?
nothing irrational about it. Nothing irrational about it.
Naden, where do you stand on man buns?
Listen, if it means I get room to myself,
Yeah.
give me a man bun.
What's
No,
Oh.
for 6 months? No, you're getting a room. 12 months is what? 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But
I'm not having a man bun for
6
6
months.
months.
6 months man bun.
Now, if
6
it's a
years,
man
no
bun
issues.
for the length of the tournament or
Yes.
rooming with Craig and Stevie for the length of the tournament,
Yeah.
you do the man bun for the tournament.
I just remember we were talking this morning at the running track
yes.
because a lot of people, I'm sure, at the moment are now finalising their fantasy teams ahead of the start of the new season. Naden psychologically can't commit himself to do fantasy because it ruins his life.
Yes,
is that
correct.
fair?
That is 100% true. And I think most people that do decide to play FPL, they acknowledge that as they begin the game.
I don't know if you take it that seriously.
You take it seriously.
I don't think so.
You take it seriously.
Well, apparently I don't watch any football.
Like this, and as well, there's 2 different worlds there because you can take it seriously and still be bad. And I think that's the worst position to be in, and that's what I fear.
And Dan don't take it seriously.
No.
That's what I fear.
I know
fear-
people who take it seriously, and Dan is not one of
It's
them.
like it's basically
take
it's like
very little seriously.
Sometimes it's like, you know, if you buy a lottery ticket, you believe that's going to be the ticket that's going to win it, and then all of a sudden there's a sense of disappointment. Now imagine that just every single week over players who like shouldn't even be bothering you.
So
You don't buy a lottery ticket and then go out and buy a Ferrari.
No, but you expect to be able to buy one. Once
But you just can't cope with that disappointment.
No, I can cope with it, but I've enjoyed like my life not getting stressed because there's been a goal at Sunderland and it's like from this player who shouldn't really matter. You know what I mean?
All right.
So yeah, I'm easy. I'm taking some time off.
Okay, that's good. Because your mate Jules does the podcast.
Yeah, Jules does it. He does it really well. And
well, he doesn't because I beat him last year.
Yeah, that was last year. But one thing I would say about Jules,
So don't say anything bad about Jules.
No, I was just about to say the thing with Jules is, as we know, he's not a great winner. So when he does win, you will hear about it.
Didn't win last year. Right. For both, who was the one signing for your club during your playing days that you were most excited about? Oh, good question.
What was the question?
When you're at your club, who were you most excited about? The new signing?
One signing, Shearer at Newcastle.
Yeah, I imagine that's quite a lot of hype over that.
I think I might be able to top this. With all due respect to the record goal scorer in the Premier League. For energy and vibes, it was Carlos Tevez coming from United to City.
Right.
Because that was the start of things starting to change in the city and the dynamic of the two clubs.
Welcome to Manchester.
Welcome to Manchester, that big billboard, like that was very significant. Like that was the biggest statement, and say the Robinho stuff and all that, forget all that. Tevez coming to City and starting what would end up being a successful 12 years for them, whatever it was.
Final question. You folded up because you said it was about me.
Yes, it is about you.
Well, to me.
So this is from The Righteous Anger of Craig Burley.
Okay.
For Dan.
Yes, that's me.
If you had to do every show for an entire week with only one other panel member, who would be riding shotgun with you?
Oh, Shaka.
Why?
Because he's great.
Great at.
Doesn't complain. Interesting banter. Great. Just great.
So do we see that as saying the other guys have no interesting banter and they're not great?
I'm just saying that Shaka's sat here at the moment. You're going back to the UK, and it's an easy answer.
Okay. It felt like you said less about Shaka and more about the others, in my opinion.
Well, that's fair enough. That's your opinion. Now, if others were sat here, it would be a different answer.
Right, okay, my bad.
But one thing is definitely not Nadem.
Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
When do you go back?
Not soon enough.
Wow. See you at the running track tomorrow.
Hopefully not.
He got so angry because some teenagers had got in his way in the track and worried for where
Just run over them.
Look how the story changes, by the way. Look how the story changes. Look how the story changes.
He had his spikes on. There we go. I love you, Shaka. ESPN FC returns to your screens tomorrow. What's happening? Oh, Liverpool Bournemouth. Something to talk about. Holy cow.